Greetings, beloveds. Today we're going to do a pick a card reading on what your dreams are trying to tell you. So if you haven't done a pick a card reading before, basically what you want to do is pick which card you are the most drawn to, which card resonates with you the most. If you like crystals, you can also choose from those as well. Keep in mind that you are in complete control of your life. You have free will, and this reading can be fun and it can be an exploration of what your intuition has been trying to tell you through your dreams. But only take with you what is useful. Anything that doesn't feel right or doesn't resonate, you can leave that behind, and you can set the intention to only take what is useful for you today. So if you'd like to, you can pause the video and choose from 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and you can scroll down to the comment or description box below and choose the timestamp that correlates with the card that you have chosen. If you'd like to, before you pause the video, you can stop and take a profound breath, breathing in as slowly as you can, breathing out as deeply as you can, coming back to yourself so that your higher self can guide you in choosing which reading is the most important for you today. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, group number 1, this reading is for you. What have your dreams been trying to tell you? Here's your little opalite heart. Okay. Wow. So right away, your dreams are trying to tell you, you know what you need to do. Your intuition is there. Your dreams are there guiding you, but you haven't yet kind of surrendered to listening to yourself. You are meant to be a leader, and it's time for you to kind of take leadership roles in your life. Look at areas in your life that you need to take decisive action on, and you want to look inside yourself to find the right answers. But you're a born leader. You're meant to be leading. So if you find yourself in any situations, at work or with your friends or any kind of creative endeavors, it's time to kind of take the reins, because you're meant to be in a position of leadership. Now, that's interesting. You're also group number 1, right? You're leading the pack even in this reading. What may be showing up in your dreams at this time are different colors, numbers. Pay very close attention to what colors you're seeing, what numbers you're seeing, and what that means to you. Now, when you look at dreams, we get prophetic dreams. We have dreams that kind of tells us something before it's going to happen, but most of our dreams are basically a conglomeration of many different images that we've seen, many different past lives that we've had, and you kind of put it in a mix, put it in a pot, and kind of mix it all up, and that comes out your dreams. And what's important from your dreams is not all of these images all put together. What's important is, how did you feel? So you really want to pay close attention to how you feel when you woke up. And so with colors, numbers, that can be what that means to you. So if when you think of blue, you feel sad, then you can associate sadness with that color in your dream, and try to go into the colors and numbers even more deeply when you wake up, so that you can figure out really how you're feeling. And it's about acknowledging what feelings that you're struggling with, what feelings that you are not wanting to acknowledge, and how do you see yourself as a leader kind of fitting into the world around you. You may have a focus on your possessions in your dreams, so literally your belongings. So your dreams are kind of the beginning of your bardo, okay? So when you die the physical body, you go through the bardo, and your dreams are just kind of tapping into that other realm. Now, if you're very attached to your physical possessions, then when you die the physical body, it can be very upsetting, because nothing's left but you. That's why when we are in gratitude, we don't want to be grateful for our car and our home and, our food and all of that, that's important too. But when you want to go even deeper into your spiritual practice, you literally want to be grateful for nothing, because when you die the physical body, there's not going to be any of those possessions or things there. It's just going to be you in your truest essence. And so there may be an attachment to possessions in your dreams. So I would pay attention to any things that you're dreaming about and look for any symbolism in what those things are. You know, if, for example, if you saw a trash can or a trash basket in your dream, what would that be telling you? That would be telling you that it's time to clean up. It's time to take out the trash. It's time to purify your life. So you want to look at different actual things in your dreams and what are those trying to tell you. It's also speaking about what is the cost of what you lost. So if you were to lose any of these possessions, how does that make you feel? What are some changes that are causing you to feel undervalued? So again, if you're stepping into your leadership role, that can be something that you're kind of exploring, you know, your value. How are you appreciated? How are you valued? The other thing that may be coming up in your dreams is celebrations, like social occasions. So when you look at possessions and celebrations, our dreams are showing us what we actually want, what our desires are. So underneath that, right now, you're having a desire to literally socialize and to feel in celebration. And you may be having a desire for physical possessions. There may be some things that you kind of want to buy or you've been thinking about buying. Now, if we're looking at any fears that are underneath this, do you have any fears right now around commitments? Making commitments, making social commitments? Do you have any fears around being in social situations? You know, considering the pandemic that's happening right now, there are fears around going in social situations for some people. And it's the feeling like we haven't done it in so long. You know, for some of us that have been staying at home, we haven't been super social, and so there can be some fear that comes up when you haven't done something in a long time. Now, I do feel like there's something kind of breaking free in you. This is really big. Your dreams are trying to tell you it's time for you to basically come out as the leader that you are and to really trust yourself. This is about trusting yourself. I think that's an important theme. So let's see what else your dreams are trying to tell you. Ooh, wow. The lovers are jumping out at you. Okay. All right. So what your dreams are trying to tell you. Here we see a main theme or a main situation that's coming up in your dream is like you are in control of your life. You're totally equipped. You have everything you need to become the leader. You have everything that you need to do anything that you want creatively. You know, I see you're supported spiritually. You have the wisdom to back you up. You have the power. You have a lot of power backing you up. And the wisdom is coming from your emotional experiences that you've had. So there's a lot here working for you. You have everything that you need. You're totally supported. Now, what you're crossed by is the lover. So you're crossed by finding harmony and finding balance in that. Sometimes it can be overwhelming when you have a lot of different gifts and trying to figure out which one you should be focusing on. So just to kind of relax a little bit back from that, is to just follow whatever you're passionate about right now. You know, if today you're passionate about writing, work on writing, you know, and then in a bigger sense, you know, you may have desire to help animals, and you may have a desire to be an artist, and you may have a desire to, you know, be an accountant. This lifetime is the blink of an eye, but it can be as spacious as you make it. You know, you can literally expand time, and there's all the time to do all of the things that you want to. And for right now, just kind of hone in and focus on a few things that you feel passionate about right now, and try to find some balance and harmony in that, you know, instead of trying to spread yourself maybe too thin. We see in the dreams that you were having in the past, they were very cathartic. They could have felt even scary. You could have had dreams where you were burning, or dreams around fire, dreams that you didn't want to be here in this physical plane. And many of us often actually experience those kind of feelings, because when we're dreaming, we're going back to the realm that we came from. This realm, this physical realm, it feels very limited. We have the limitation of our physical body. We have the limitation of the physical plane. But in the dreams, everything is possible. In the other realm, everything is possible, and it feels so much more expansive and so much more spacious. And so what I see is what you've been dreaming about. You've been dreaming about wanting to be free of limitations, wanting to free yourself free of the physical plane. Now, that can happen every night when you go to sleep. That's why we go to sleep. That's why we dream, to go back to that place. So just make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to actually dream, enough time to sleep, so that you can go and visit those realms. But it looks like for the most part, you're kind of through that process. And where you're at right now at the root, it's time to make decisions. You know, this important decision, I feel like, to step into your leadership role. I think you've dreamt of past lives where you've been a leader, and it's time to step into that. Don't let the ego kind of pull you down. You are 100% capable of flying at this time. You know, this can literally, when you're having kind of darker, deeper dreams, you could be dreaming of literal kind of monsters. You know, that kind of energy of under the bed, or something's kind of coming to get you, something's trying to pull you back, and you're trying to keep going anyways. So the dreams can feel like a little turbulent in that way. Now, overseeing your dreams is a lot of kind of manifestation, abundance type energy. There can be a lot of light in your dreams. There can be feeling very, very supported physically in your dreams. And this can be like your physical body is supporting the process for you to go deeply into your dreams. And in your dreams, you're feeling physically supported in some way. You're feeling like you're able to take care of yourself, because you know that God and all that is kind of taking care of you. Now, what you may find yourself dreaming about here in the days to come, wow, is about a fresh start, you know, starting completely, having faith in yourself in order to start a new adventure, to start from scratch. You know, there's an innocence about that, you know, being innocent in your leadership. What does that look like? How can you be innocent in your leadership? I think that can be how you kind of approach leading others, you know, recognizing their innocence, recognizing that they're, you know, you don't know, whatever you don't know, you just haven't learned it yet. And that's okay. And kind of the ability to recognize that in other people. You know, this is also coming to me now, I wouldn't be surprised if you were having some sort of kind of religious dreams, like different deities and things that you've seen in your life and in past lifetimes, and that you've worshipped in past lifetimes, could definitely be coming up in your dreams. Now, if any of this, if you're like, I haven't been dreaming about that, you have to remember, we're not recalling probably even half of our dreams. Unless you're a very advanced dreamer, there's many dreams that you're not recalling. So your mind doesn't know it, but trust me, your higher self does know. As you're watching this video, your higher self is watching, and it knows. It will still sink in, is what I'm trying to say. So you don't have to worry about that. But I feel like your dreams are trying to tell you it's time to kind of start fresh. You know, if this can be for some of you, if you've been ever thinking about kind of starting your own business, or stepping into a new position where you'd be kind of higher up in whatever work that you do, it's time to kind of take that leap, I feel like, is what it's saying. You're needing to make some decisions about that. Now, how you see yourself. You could see yourself as being very mental in your dreams, and it can be a little intense to the point where it's just like your mind is on fire. There's so much going on there, but there's still something. It's almost like you keep this to yourself. You're not sharing this. You know, we're seeing a Scorpion, that kind of Scorpio energy. It's mysterious. Your mind is so kind of ablazing, but you're keeping it very hidden, or keeping it very mysterious. You're hiding the real intellectual potential that you have. Now, others are seeing you in your dreams. You're kind of existing as being kind of emotionally content. I definitely feel you've done some work on yourself in this lifetime and in other past lifetimes. And there is the true kind of deep recognition that, you know, we're all made of stars. Emotionally, you have that realization. Now, your hopes and fears are about being, this is kind of feminine energy, but it's feminine energy that's very, very in control of the mind. It can be it's like you're very clear mentally about what you want. That's what you're hoping for yourself. That's what your dreams are trying to tell you, that you have a deep desire to be very, very clear in your mind about what you want, about your creativity, about your passions, just wanting to be very, very clear. There's definitely a lot of wisdom coming up, I feel like, in this whole reading. It's like you're wise, and that's why it's time to step into this leadership role. Now, where your dreams are kind of headed, the story of your dreams, where your dreams are headed, is some sort of new opportunity, new physical or financial opportunity. What I would really take from all of this is your dreams are trying to tell you it's time to step into, you know, your role in your service to humanity. So people, you know, often ask, you know, what's my purpose? You are your purpose. The moment that you chose to be born, that is your purpose. You were born onto this earth in this lifetime, in this personality. You will never exist exactly like you do right now, ever again. You know, the soul will go on, but this specific personality in this specific environment just happens this one time. And I would really ask yourself, what service do you have to offer to humanity? You know, oftentimes when we get into kind of spirituality, people are thinking, what can I bring to me? What can I manifest for myself? And yes, that's important, but that all comes after there's this giving, you know, this focus on generosity. So I would really, your dreams are trying to tell you it's time to tap into what your service to humanity is. What did you come here to bring to others? What did you come here to give? Again, this can be like a new job. It's time to step into a leadership role, some sort of new job, new financial opportunity. So that's what your dreams are trying to tell you. I wish you the best on all of your endeavors. The energy looks new and exciting, and thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you in any way, please like the video, subscribe. You can click notifications, and I want to thank you so much. And I set the intention for awareness and excitement around your new opportunities. So be it. All right, group number 2. This reading's for you. Here's your little rose quartz heart. What are your dreams trying to tell you? Okay. So, what are your dreams trying to tell you? The first thing that we're seeing is it's important for you to play more. It's like, you know, too much focus on work and obligations, and that they're encouraging you to play. And so in your dreams, you may be finding that space to play, but your dreams want you to know it's time to incorporate that play into your everyday life. So allow, you know, your inner child to come out, to experience joy and be happy. I would say, like, going into the feminine energy of just being without any, you know, agenda. You know, book aside a day where you don't have anything specific that you have to do. You can just kind of have fun and be a little spontaneous. It's also, your dreams are also trying to tell you that it's very important to nurture yourself. To take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to have the energy to take care of others. So, and anything new in your life, it's saying anything new in your life, to nurture that as well. It's also saying to really have the realization that anything, any experiences that you have in your life that are difficult, any failures that you have, that's leading to wisdom, and then you can apply that wisdom later on in your life. So it's learning that deep wisdom. So there's a focus on play, nurturing, and wisdom in your dreams. The other things that you may be seeing in your dreams, you could be having dreams about weather or natural events, okay? This often comes up from past lifetimes. We have died in every imaginable way possible. We've drowned, we've burned, everything. And so in your dream, you may be having dreams that have to do with weather or some sort of, you know, a tsunami, something like that. When you look at the symbolism of that, those dreams can be about the awe of the power of Earth, and there's a big surrender in that. No matter, yes, you know, we should be as conscious as possible when it comes to the earth. And, you know, if you know you need to recycle, or you know you need to not be wasteful, there's definitely something to that. But no matter what we do, there is nothing as powerful as Mother Earth, and she will always, always, always take care of herself. And so there's something to really surrender to in that, surrendering to the power of Mother Earth, and surrendering to the power of Mother Earth within you. What these may mean to you, these images of weather or natural events, could be asking you what's urgent in your life, what's making you feel that you're out of control, you know, because weather is out of our control. What in your life is making you feel out of control? And are you worried about survival? Or any major change coming your way? The other thing they're showing me, in your dreams, you're actually meeting with your spiritual guides. You know, any of this that you're like, I haven't been dreaming of that, or I don't remember that, that doesn't mean that you're not. We don't even remember half of our dreams. We only take back a very little amount unless you're a very advanced dreamer. So even if mentally you're not remembering that, that doesn't mean that your higher self, who is watching this video with you, does not remember. And so just know that any of the messages, they're still going to sink in, even if you don't remember the dreams. But you're actually meeting with your guides in your dreams, and that's actually a higher level of dreaming. The first level of dreaming is, you know, just ruminating, just kind of going over your day, images, things that you saw, things that you did. And then when you move higher up into higher levels of dreaming, that's when you're meeting with your guides. So you're definitely meeting with your guides in your dreams, and they're trying to help you with any unresolved issues, and they're trying to help you with your own magical qualities, so your own exploration of your spirituality. The other thing we're coming up, we see the weather, we're also seeing water. You could be dreaming about water. Again, there's feelings of overwhelm. Your dreams are trying to tell you that you're a little bit overwhelmed in your waking life, and that's causing you to have some kind of emotional duress. you could feel like like life is a little bit of a struggle, and your dreams are kind of helping you to process that. So let's see what else your dreams are trying to tell you, and then we can kind of weave in these images in your dreams. So I'm definitely picking up some stress in the physical plane. There's no doubt about that. And the reason we dream is to go back to really where we come from. This lifetime is physical. It's the blink of an eye. And it's almost like that's why you feel like you have to sleep. You know, if you pull an all-nighter, there's something telling you I must go to sleep, because you're actually coming back to who you really are when you're dreaming. But this waking physical life is causing some overwhelm or some stress. There could be feelings of being lost, of feeling lack, and it can feel very isolating. That's kind of the situation you're dreaming, like you're alone and you're suffering. Although of course you're never alone, and you're not alone. There's just this feeling that you're alone. So there is some sort of focus in your dreams on being lost in some way, or lacking abundance physically. Now, what you're crossed by, you could be having nightmares. This is literally nightmares. Nightmares of some sort of storm or some sort of natural disaster, literal nightmares, waking up from a nightmare, waking up and feeling, distressed. Sometimes these dreams, these nightmares, they don't even have anything to do with our physical life now. You want to pay close attention to whatever you watch or you read before bed. 30 minutes before you go to sleep, you don't actually want to be watching anything or reading any books, because when you do, you tap into past lifetimes that deal with whatever imagery that you're reading or seeing. But I'm literally seeing nightmares here. Now, we see in the past of your dreams, there was the feeling of new opportunity. And we see this as like service, giving, generosity. And now you've kind of moved out of that feeling like you have abundance and you have even more to give, and moved into an energy of feeling a little bit more lack. Now, overseeing the situation, you're exploring something very deep within yourself, something very deep emotionally. And this comes from this just physical plane. It feels very limited. And here we're seeing in the dream world, it feels more, in your dreams, things feel more possible. They feel more creative. They feel easier. And so it's kind of a bit of a respite for you. There's definitely some difficult energy, though, that's coming up all around. Now, here we see it's like your mind is kind of behind. I'd read this, I guess, as your mind is kind of trying to crush your emotions. So I would give space to your mind and your thoughts, and give space for your feelings and your emotions, and try to separate those a little bit. It can be hard not to. Our thoughts can kind of take over and say, oh no, I feel this way, I feel that way. But just kind of whenever you're feeling what you feel, if you feel sad, or if you feel frustrated, or if you feel happy, really give space to that feeling. Just stop and just kind of breathe, without mentally trying to put any story to it. Now, what you may be dreaming about in the days to come, what your dreams may be showing you, is literally clarity and new ideas. Clarity and new ideas. You're cracking open new ideas, new wisdom. It's like new fruits to nurture, new growth. Very good. It's like you're going to get through this. You're going to get through whatever overwhelm you're in, and you're going to get clear, and you're going to have new ideas about how to handle everything. There is wisdom. The wisdom is a little bit turned upside down. So it's almost like however you think you're seeing this situation now, you're actually going to realize that it's the opposite later on, and your dreams are going to kind of help you to come to that conclusion. Now, how you see yourself, you could see yourself as a pretty powerful dreamer. So again, I'm not surprised that you're meeting with your guides. A powerful dreamer, your mind has great exploration in your dreams. There's a power. You just want to be very careful in how you wield that power. Again, I can see more kind of natural disaster type energy of the dreams. Very fluid, very watery, you know, very emotional. In all of this, we're not seeing a lot of fire energy. We're not seeing a lot of passion energy. We're seeing you kind of integrating the mind and the emotions. And there's a real focus on that, a very heavy focus on that. Mind, emotion. Now, others are seeing you in your dreams, how you're being perceived in your dreams. You could see this as you're trying to emotionally mature. You're trying to emotionally kind of get to your next level, but it can feel difficult. Everything's there for you to emotionally kind of let go of whatever is your mind is telling you that you need to worry about or stress about. Yeah. So your mind, I was just kind of taking in the overwhelm and how this relates to your emotional maturity. I feel like once you can kind of hone in on a few things that you want to focus on, once you can feel not so overwhelmed, it's almost like when you stop for a moment and you just laugh, because we make life out to be so serious, and it's like this, you know, live or die, everything's a live or die situation, everything is so important and so serious, and you just stop and you just laugh and you realize it's really all okay. This life is like a blink, it's going to go by so fast, and all that really matters when all of this kind of boils away, when you leave the physical body, all that really matters is what is precious to you. And what is precious to you is what you value. And so what you value is different for every person, but it's usually, you know, people and connections in your life. So once you can really come back to yourself and not feel so overwhelmed with the physicality of life, there's going to be some sort of emotional maturation. You know, you may feel more content, and like your emotions aren't controlling you as much. Now, your hopes and your fears are to really look yourself in the mirror. We see literally looking yourself in the mirror, looking at what's inside of you, emotionally. It's time to do some self-inquiry. Your dreams, your guides, they're trying to help you look within and to look at yourself and to see yourself in a new light. Now your outcome, we see a wheel, okay? Your outcome is like turning your life. Your dreams are telling you, turn your life in a different direction. Life can be so amazing. Life can be so abundant. You're so supported. Turn your life in a different direction. This energy can be like there's just endless possibility and opportunity. And you're not destined to have any your life isn't destined for suffering. It's not destined for bad things to happen to you. Life can be just so expansive, but it is cyclical. So you're kind of experiencing the same things over and over again until you kind of get off of that wheel. But there's lots of insights along your journey of kind of getting off of that wheel. So again, looking at all of this and kind of piecing it together, your dreams are trying to tell you, you know, sorry, my dog tried to jump on something and she didn't quite make it. What your dreams are trying to tell you is to really give yourself space and time to experience the joy of life. It doesn't have to be so serious. There doesn't have to be so much worry or so much focus on, getting things done. I would really give yourself time to play and to relax. And I would especially give yourself enough time to dream. You may be telling yourself, your mind may be telling yourself a story about how you don't have time to get enough sleep because you just have too much to do. Change your way of thinking, see what you can cut out of your life to make space for more sleep. And there's something very good and very special about knowing how much sleep that you need and really creating awareness around that. Yes, some people only need 4 hours of sleep, and yes, some people need 10 or 12 hours of sleep. Let your body tell you how much sleep you need, and ask yourself, am I sleeping too much? Am I sleeping too little? Sleep is so important. We get a little out of touch with our values in terms of what we need to survive. We need sleep. That's even more important than food. That's more important than nourishment. This is time for your body to reset, your mind to reset, your emotions to reset. So really give yourself kind of the space to do so. All right. Well, thank you so much. And it looks like you're headed in a lot of clarity in a really good direction. And I wish you the best. So be it. All right, group number 3, with your little amethyst heart. What are your dreams trying to tell you? Wow. Okay, so in your dreams, we're seeing themes of renewal, rebirth, transformation in relationships. So your dreams are showing you images and circumstances and events that are showing you that it's time to kind of change your relationships. Sometimes this means literally ending relationships so that you can transform and kind of reinvent yourself. But also, relationships are very cyclical. They go through their own transformations. If you ask someone, are you the same two people when you got married as you are when you've been married for 20 years? No, both of you have reinvented yourselves over and over and over again, and the two of you as a unit have reinvented itself. So it's looking like in your dreams there's a focus on transforming your relationships and kind of being reborn. It's saying examine what you resist getting rid of. What are you resisting letting go of? And reassess what needs renewal, what needs freshening up in your life, what needs a fresh start. Clean up things that are cluttering your life. Your dreams are telling you it's time to kind of clean up. So this can mean just like going through a drawer. This can mean just cleaning your whole house. Any kind of purification, like on a new moon, kind of clean your house. When we clean, it's so powerful. It is a spiritual act of purification. As we clean outside in our environment, we are cleaning within. We're cleaning up any kind of clutter within. So that's what your dreams are trying to tell you. It's saying commit to acting on new ideas and longings. This is that type of energy that's saying, oh, well, I've been thinking about getting around to this. I've always wanted to do this. It's time to start kind of following whatever your inclinations are. You can always begin again. Rebirth, we're seeing rebirth, begin again, transformation, renewal. It's like you're being reborn. It can also mean there's new relationships coming your way after you are reborn, after your transformation. You don't have to be stuck in the same old patterns. The energy's there for you right now to kind of have a new relationship like you haven't had before. If you're in a relationship, it's like reassessing those relationships and and figuring out if this relationship is really serving your highest good, if you're feeling really supported and it's something that you're very committed to or not. So really reassessing your relationships. Now, in your dreams, you could be dreaming literally about the physical body. You could be seeing parts of your body, looking at yourself in your dreams. Sometimes we dream and we don't actually see our body. We're just kind of viewing it from our mind's eye, but you could be literally dreaming about a body and what that body looks like and what parts of your body are well functioning. Like, where's your health in your body? How do you feel about your body? Your dreams they're asking you to ask yourself, how do you feel about your body? And really, it's not about, there's no right or wrong answer to any of that. It's just about kind of creating awareness and looking within. And then we see dreaming about people and dreaming about sex. So our dreams are definitely, whatever we desire, it will come up in our dreams. Okay, so your dreams are showing you what you desire, and there's definitely a desire for physical connection here, not just sexual, but just a connection with people. You could be looking at your relationships and where do you feel discouraged or undervalued? What people in your life create the right circumstances, the right kind of mix in order to because no one can really make you feel inferior, right? No one can make you feel undervalued. All they do is they come along and they have the right energy to bring up what's already inside you. Now, your dreams could be asking you about how you feel like you fit in. How do you feel like you fit in? And again, like changing yourself. There's something, your dreams are wanting to change yourself to kind of fit into a new you. You could find yourself maybe in new groups of friends, new community, a new way of existing in the world. And then literally a desire to be around others, a deep connection, to be with others. You could be feeling disconnected and your dreams are trying to tell you that you have a desire to reconnect with people and to really kind of focus on that desire. Now let's see what else your dreams are trying to tell you. Okay, so what your dreams are trying to tell you, again, I'm seeing a focus on relationships, not just romantic, but your relationships with your friends as well. So the situation, of course, we're seeing zero, the innocent, the fool, renewal, rebirth, and transformation. It's like starting at square one. Your dreams are telling you it's time to start fresh, to reinvent yourself. And what you're crossed by is the challenge that you're facing right now is the awareness that you can be whoever you want to be. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter, that's all root energy, where you physically come from, your biological parents, all of that. It doesn't matter where you come from. You can still be whoever you want to be. When you look at like a shapeshifter, people think that, a shapeshifter is like changing shapes. They're changing into a different animal. No, a shapeshifter is a shaman who has developed the ability to change the way that they are perceived. So they're not actually changing into a deer. They're changing the way that we see them. Okay, so, and that's there's some sort of focus. I feel shapeshifter energy here. You're trying to reinvent yourself and change the way that you appear to others. People have that saying like, don't care what anybody thinks. That's not human. Yes, you want to be confident in who you are, and that's extremely important. But of course we care what other people think. Can you imagine someone who truly never cared what anyone else thought? That would be a lot of detachment, and that would be being very apathetic. So of course we care about what other people think, and when you care and love is the same thing. So it's important. It's important. So you're changing the way that you're being perceived. Now, we are seeing at the root, there's the energy of celebration. This could be like ritual celebration. In your dreams, you could be doing some sort of ritual to kind of celebrate. I could feel like, you know, in past lives, you've done ritual around like celebrating the harvest and the new season and things like that. There's ritualistic celebration. At the root, there's also the desire to connect with people and connect with friends in celebration. Now, we see in the past of the dreams, Seven of Wands. Okay, so we're seeing, look at what we're seeing here. We're seeing this house, but notice it's like empty. There's no one there. Wands are about passion and energy and physical action, and here we're not really seeing any action aside from the sky is moving very quickly. So it's like saying that your passions are a little bit dormant right now. And I think that's because you have to reinvent yourself in order to find what your new passions are. There's new passions to be explored. Now, overseeing your situation, balance, harmony, your dreams are trying to find balance within you. And it's very fertile. The energy is very, very fertile. And what you may be dreaming in the days to come is having like absolute abundance, you know, excess beyond excess, everything that you could possibly ever want or need. You could be having this dream where you're just filled in this room, just filled with whatever you enjoy, you know, gold or candy or whatever it is, just feeling this total abundance. So we're seeing this celebration, this ritualistic celebration that's leading to this incredible abundance that you're kind of manifesting for yourself. This is a very important time for manifestation for you. Doing a vision board or something like that could be very helpful for you to kind of get clear on what it is you want to create for your life, that you're really taking your power back in your life. Now, how you see yourself. Here we see this woman, and she's looking at the cat. Okay, so cats they're so wise, and you know, you can see in their eyes that they know exactly what they're doing, but they don't let you in on it. You know, like if they want cuddles, they don't let you in on it. They just they're very kind of sneaky in that way. So there's something about looking within. I feel looking within and acknowledging any ways that you hide your beauty. I'm feeling like there's a hiding of your physical beauty, hiding the beauty within you. When we look at physical beauty and the beauty of like a being, they're actually hand in hand. Okay, and we can, again, shape-shifting, we can be perceived in any way that we want to be. So if someone is in this very positive, abundant state, they can walk in a room and someone who's also in a positive state will see that beauty. They will literally look beautiful to them. You will be like, wow, look at that hair, look at that outfit, so on and so forth. Now, if someone's in a very kind of dark place and someone views them that's also in a dark place, it's going to be a focus on the negative aspects. But there's something about you're seeing yourself as like looking within to see your own beauty and how you present yourself. Now, others are seeing you. We're seeing the Lord of Swords. It's very mental energy. In your dreams, you're being perceived as like pretty powerful in your control of your own mind, not letting your mind kind of take over. I would guess like in your day-to-day life, your mind isn't like a hamster wheel. Like many of us have this hamster wheel. It's just blah, 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 all day, all day. And we want to make use of thought, not have our thought use us. And so there's something that is, you're in control of your mind. And that's coming across in your dreams. Now, your hopes and fears, again, is this mental energy. Again, I feel like you're looking within at your beauty, also looking within at your mental beauty. But here we see again, it's like this unwillingness to see the beauty that you are. You're in this kind of dark, I'm feeling you're in your dream, you're in this dark cave. And it's so dark, and all you have to do is just kind of light a candle and you'll see all of the beauty of you that's kind of illuminated. Your dreams are trying to get you to see the beauty of you, the beauty of you. Now, the outcome in your dreams, again, I'm seeing a focus on relationships. You know, especially I feel like there is a focus on romantic relationships that's coming up, and also the balance of the masculine and feminine within you. There's ancient wisdom within you, and your dreams are helping you to tap into that ancient wisdom. And the wisdom is saying to look at the feminine energy of just being, just allowing the process, allowing the transformation process to happen. It's not something that you actually have to physically do, although you can, you can like go buy some new clothes or dye your hair, or cut your hair or something like that. That can help the process along. But it's saying just receive, your dreams are saying receive the transformation. Just allow it to come your way. Allow it to kind of happen and take you over, and just kind of let go and allow the process. All right. Well, thank you so much. If this reading has helped you, please like, subscribe. You can hit notifications. And I wish you the best. This looks really exciting. Rebirth, transformation, you're being born again, and that's always so exciting. So I wish you the best. So be it. All right, group number 4, your little howlite heart. What are your dreams trying to tell you? Okay, so some themes that may be coming up in your dreams. There could be dreams about literal babies. We're seeing birth and babies. And what that symbolizes, what they're trying to tell you, is that there's growth. And that growth requires you to step out of your comfort zone. So growing pains, right? We all know that in order to spiritually evolve, we have to grow. And so we do have to step out of our comfort zone. And that's going to lead us to wisdom and experience. The old must be left behind. It's you're growing into the new. There's also a big focus on empowerment. Believing in your own power to create change and control in your life. Being empowered by becoming an example to others. Empowerment, I feel like, is one of the most important words of the English language. It is so amazing. I literally will put like a little sticky note that says empowerment, and I'll put it underneath my water bottles to charge every water bottle that I drink, every glass of water, to charge that with empowerment, because that is one of the most powerful tools that we have here, is to really empower ourselves. The other thing we're seeing is awakening. Your dreams, there's some sort of growth, some sort of spiritual awakening, and it's coming from your empowerment. Your consciousness is awakening. You're becoming more attuned to messages from the spirit. You're trusting your own, sorry, my dog just sneezed. You're trusting your own kind of psychic abilities. But how this may be manifesting in your dreams, again, birth, babies, what do you need to nurture? What in your life are you needing to nurture at this time? And that, you know, it's not always actual baby. Anything can be your baby. Your business can be your baby. Whatever you're painting or whatever you're working on can be your baby. So how do you nurture your baby? And also this can symbolize, in what ways do you feel vulnerable? Vulnerability is literally the key to love. How do you feel vulnerable in your life? We want to be vulnerable. If you are signed up and you want to spiritually evolve, you want to be praying to God's ancestors, please help me to be more vulnerable. Could you be feeling overwhelmed, though, by responsibility? And these are questions just to ask yourself for contemplation, for awareness, but there's no right or wrong answer. You could also be dreaming about death, that someone dies, that you die. And what that's trying to tell you is what parts of you are dying, what parts of you are changing. That's that growth. Have you been neglecting your physical or emotional health? Because you are in the physical plane right now. You did choose to be here. And so your dreams are trying to tell you, okay, you chose to be here. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself physically and emotionally? And are you communicating about that? Do you feel like you need someone to talk to in order to keep your emotional health kind of in a good energy? What do you feel like you have difficulty communicating? Do you feel emotionally disconnected? What's not working smoothly? When we think working smoothly, that just means our emotional response to whatever's actually happening. So whatever's happening in your life, what is your emotional response to that? So let's see what else your dreams are trying to tell you, and then we can kind of piece this whole picture together. So I want you to keep in mind that even if something doesn't feel like it resonates, or you're like, I haven't been dreaming of that, I don't remember any dreams like that, you want to keep in mind that we only remember a very small amount of our dreams unless we are very advanced dreamers. So even if you don't remember it, that doesn't mean that it's not happening. That being said, of course, if something just doesn't feel right, that's totally okay. This is a general reading, and it's, you know, trying to reach many beings at once. But just know that your higher self is watching this video with you. And whatever needs to sink in around your dreams and around your dreams or subconscious, whatever needs to sink in is definitely sinking in. Okay. Okay, so the situation in your dreams, there's a focus on, in your dreams, you get to tap into who you really are. And who you really are, you're a being that exists in a non-physical world, in a non-physical realm, and that's who you really are. We're just having a dream right now that we're in a physical body with a personality, and that can feel very limiting. But you could be experiencing some isolation in your dream, feeling isolated. The physical being can feel isolating. It can feel alone. But when you're in your dreams, you're in the other realm. We know more deeply that we're never alone, because we're connected. We're connected to everyone and everything and all that is. And what you're crossed by is clarity on that. You could be having some dreams where you're worrying about money. or worrying that you're like physically have enough or physically have enough to survive. And you, of course, are good and you have everything that you need, but you're trying to integrate the clarity on that. That's what's challenging you at this time, is clarity on what you feel like you physically lack. Now, at the root, we see in your dreams, there's a focus on the virtue of generosity. There's a focus on the energy of service. And I feel like for you, there's something like you need to receive. You need to receive service. So when someone is trying to offer you help or offer you something, it's about being able to receive that. We can't really give love unless we can receive love. So a question I would ask yourself for contemplation is, how am I at receiving? You know, if someone says, hey, do you want this cupcake? Or you're like, no, you keep it. But really inside you're like, yes, I want that cupcake. It's like, take the cupcake. Be willing to receive. All right, group number 5 with the sodalite heart. What are your dreams trying to tell you? Wow. Okay. So the first themes that we're seeing, we are seeing nature, Gaia. You could be dreaming about the earth and your connection with nature. Your dreams are trying to tell you to respect the beauty of your body as being nature, just as you respect the Mother Earth. If you recycle, or you care about the earth and you feel that concern at times, you should have that same concern for your own body, because you are nature. Care for yourself just as you would care for the earth. And it's saying also, your dreams are telling you, remain connected to the earth. Make sure you're taking time to go outside in nature. You know, people think it's some crazy woo-woo or hippie stuff to walk outside barefoot, but when you walk outside barefoot, you really, really connect, you root down into the earth. It really grounds your energy, and it's very, very good for you. The other theme that's coming up is truth. So I feel like in your dreams, you may be processing, honoring your own truth, what's true to you, honoring your own values, remaining authentic to your core values. Truth can sometimes be exposed to us in our dreams, especially when we're dealing with emotional issues. If it's emotional in the waking state, it can be hard to kind of face the truth. Sometimes we're a little bit masked, but you have the mental capacity to kind of figure it out and to find balance and to find what's true. Every secret will have its day in the sun, and sometimes that day in the sun kind of is enlightened to you in your dreams. We're also seeing prosperity. Dreaming about your prosperity, dreaming about your own gratitude for everything that you have in your life. That's a really good energy as well. Interesting, these 3 together: nature, truth, and prosperity. I feel like you can be realizing in your dreams, the real truth is that you are very prosperous, and that you have so much, and you have this beautiful body, and you have this beautiful life on this beautiful earth, and there's a big realization of that kind of happening in your dreams. Now, some actual kind of experiences you may be dreaming about: cars, vehicles. So what does a car symbolize, right? A car symbolizes going somewhere. It's the chariot. It's some sort of kind of transition. So you can be having that dream of cars or vehicles because you're figuring out what direction you want to go. Especially like thinking of life plans of the future. And you can look at, if you have a dream about a specific car, you can look at that model of car, what type of car that is, and what does that symbolize to you? You know, is it a red car? Is it angry? Does it like to go fast? Is it exciting? You know, you want to kind of look at the color and the type and kind of figure out what that symbolizes specifically for you. You could also be having dreams of being naked. This can be coming from feelings of being exposed, like you've been outed, like there's something. If you have Scorpio energy, you may be used to kind of hiding some of yourself, keeping yourself kind of mysterious. But if some part of you is exposed, you can have dreams of being naked. It's interesting. We see masked, and then we see, you know, completely unmasked, completely naked. Is there anything that you're ashamed of or that makes you feel vulnerable? And a question to ask yourself is, what do you need to release? What do you need to release? What do you need to expose to yourself in order to be okay with being vulnerable, be okay with being naked? It also can go with nature, because we have had many lifetimes where there wasn't this focus on being fully clothed. We also see you could be dreaming of school. I mean, even though it's been years and years and years since I graduated from college, I still have nightmares where it's like I didn't finish a credit and I can't graduate or something like that. So that can come up years and years later. If you're in school now, you could be dreaming about school. And I feel like the stress of it and how intense it can be, you know, how intense school can be, the sleepless nights, working so hard, and there's a lot of pressure. And so if you're dreaming about school and it's not really related to anything that you've been thinking about recently, you can ask yourself, how, in what ways do I feel inadequate? In what ways do I feel in competition? And are you in the process of evaluating yourself and your goals? So learning, ongoing learning. You can see this as like speaking your truth, speaking poetry, speaking. It's like telling you, instead of like actually writing or journaling, actually speaking your truth. Speak your truth. Okay, so let's see what else your dreams are trying to tell you. Okay. Here we see school again. Just saw school. So what you're crossed by is literally like being a student right now. And a student isn't always going to school. A student can be like a student of life and studying. That's what is, there's something calling you. Your dreams are calling you to study something. Find whatever it is that you feel passionate about right now and really immerse yourself in study. That's what your dreams are trying to tell you. That's what your soul is being challenged with right now. Now, when we look at the situation, it has to do with finding balance in your relationships, balancing your physical world, balancing what you focus on. You know, you may feel like, well, I don't have a lot of time to study something new right now. But that's really, you've got to make time. If you truly feel you don't have time, then I encourage you to take a log for a week of what you spend your time on, hour by hour, and that can really show you where your values lie, and it can also show you where you may be able to fit in some time to really study something new. At the root, it's interesting, we're seeing it's a frog being like given energy, given life, being electrocuted. It's kind of like that movie Frankenweenie. It's like bringing something to life. And it's interesting too, we think about school, we think about dissecting frogs, you know, and here we see a frog kind of used in some sort of experiment. But the frog is looking up, so we can see at the root, you're looking up towards that learning. And it's like your heart is writing you a message. Your heart is writing you a message about learning. Learning is very, very important for you right now. Physically learning something. In the past, we see there was the energy of, I mean, you can see it's a keyhole. It's like you got the key. You got the key to go on your journey. You can be actually having dreams of like a rooster, crab, wolf. Those are kind of the symbols that we're seeing here. But when you look at these together, it's like the emotional. When we look at the crab, that's like the emotions. The emotions are cutting into your spirit. When you look inside in your dreams, when you open the door, when you look through the keyhole, we can see how your emotions are somehow cutting into your spirit. Your spirit. And it's like you were waking up from that. Like the rooster wakes in the morning, you are waking up from that. Emotions cutting into your spirit. Interesting. Okay, so overseeing your situation, if you look at this, I definitely associate this card with the balance between the masculine and the feminine, and I do feel that it's encouraging energy of being more feminine. You know, the feminine knows the way. You know, we look at Mother Earth. Mother Earth knows the way. And sometimes the masculine energy can be out of balance, especially in our Western world, and so it can be a little bit blinded. The feminine energy knows the way to build the wisdom. So it's like follow your feminine energy. And what does that actually look like? Be in the energy of being, be in the energy of receiving. You know, make sure that you have time to just do nothing. You schedule time to just do nothing. You don't have to be doing something or creating something every moment of the day. And when we look at like knowledge, student, schooling, you're receiving knowledge. So that can actually be in more of a kind of feminine energy. Now, we see in the near future, again, there's a focus on studying, reading. I feel like if anything, just, you know, listen to a book on tape or read a book. There's a very strong message here to learn. Now, this is very mental energy. I could see that you would be kind of daydreaming, spending time kind of daydreaming in your thoughts about what you're reading about or what you're learning about. And what it does, it's exposing your subconscious. Through your learning, you're exposing your subconscious. You're learning more about yourself. You're learning about yourself. I can see how all of this learning is actually very focused inward. It's helping you to expose something. And you can see here looking in the mirror and the truth. You're learning something about yourself. So I definitely think spiritual studies, like studying some sort of teacher online, something like that you feel drawn to, spiritual studies, I think could definitely help with this. Now, the way that you see yourself, you can see yourself as like having really a lot going on in your mind. You could be very intellectual. You could be very mental energy. You could display yourself in a way that seems very professional. But you can see the mind, there's also a lot of creativity. And sometimes it can feel like your mind is literally just on fire with ideas. Your energy is very, very mental at this time in your process, but there's actually still a lot of balance as far as what's going on in your dreams right now in terms of the elements. But I think you see yourself as a pretty mental person. Others are seeing you as like this is interesting. It's planning for the future. But it's like taking all of your passions and kind of figuring out where you're going to take that going forward. Sometimes this can make you feel a little bit lost. Like here we see she's lying on a bed. Sometimes it doesn't have to be too heavy. It can be like when you wake up and you're planning your day. It can be when you wake up and you're wondering about where you see yourself. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I keep a vision board literally it's not right above my bed, but it's right where I can see it when I wake up, so that I can start kind of focusing on my manifestation, focusing on my vision for my future as soon as I kind of open my eyes. So that could be something helpful to you, but this is kind of how people are seeing you. In your dreams, you can also be perceived as really kind of lost in your dreams. I don't mean that in a negative way, like really just kind of going on some really bizarre kind of journeys. You could be having like dreams that seem like psychedelic, or they seem like they don't make sense. And there's something pulling, it's like a magnet. There's something pulling you. And again, when I look at the direction of this energy, again, something pulling you towards planning for the future. Learn now so that you can do what you need to do later. If you start today, if you just start studying something today, what does that look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? It's like saying, start studying today. It's like a magnet. It's leaning you towards that. There's something calling you to that. Now, your hopes and fears, this energy of like a typical Five of Wands can be kind of conflicted energy, but in this particular deck, it's not super conflicted, but it can be about kind of going within and figuring out what your passion is and where you want to take your ship, where do you want to take your journey. Reeling in your emotions and not letting them kind of overtake your life, so that you can really figure out where that you want to go. There's like a saying, oh, follow your gut, follow your emotions. You don't actually want to follow your emotions. If we followed our emotions all the time, we could end up in kind of some crazy neuroses. If you think, sometimes let's say you're really upset with someone, you may think about punching that person, but if you actually do it, that would not be good, right? So you instead go inside, and the meditator knows that you shouldn't actually act on that emotion. So we don't always need to be acting on our emotions. So there's something about reeling in your emotions and also following your intuition and kind of looking out to where you want to go. There's like lots of, your hope is to have all of this possibility for all of your passions. Now, your outcome, I really love the outcome. The outcome is celebration. Celebration. Through this emotional, energy of making choices. Sometimes you have to make a choice. I think this is also, it's not just the feminine energy. You have to make a choice. There's important choices to make. You're imagining all the possibilities for your future, all the choices that you'll make. And that is going to lead to this energy of really celebration, celebrating yourself. It feels really good. It feels really good to envision what you want for your future and then start creating it, start using your magic. You could literally do a ritual around your future. Again, I think a vision board would be helpful for you. But it's very courageous. The energy is very courageous. It's very fearless. And there's so much possibility for you. You have so much to create in this lifetime. Okay, so in putting all of this together, I think the most important message to take from this is to really start looking within and looking at what you want to study and what you want to create for your future. And your dreams are encouraging you to make choices. Don't hesitate, follow what you're inclined towards and kind of go for it. And then that leads to enjoyment later. Then you can really just sit back and enjoy the process of life rather than waiting for life to happen or waiting for it to come to you. Okay, so if this helped you in any way, you can take whatever's useful with you. You can hit like, subscribe, and hit notifications. If you have any questions, let me know. And I wish you the best on all the things you're going to study. So be it.